let's catch up with the news of the world of entertainment. Some people have a hard time realizing their sexuality. Recently on a show with Andy Cohen, Anderson Cooper mentioned, I love this story, that he realized at 11 years old, he saw Richard Gere shirtless in the movie Bent. Our celebrity headline of the week is, do celebrities help you realize you're gay? Anderson Cooper says it was shirtless Richard Gere. Do they help us understand we're gay?
I mean, in that they're sexy and we know it.
Wait, that sounds like a Bible verse.
I first started realizing I was attracted to men through certain masculine features in media. Big
Like
one,
what? Give us an
Anthony Perkins in Psycho, when he's leaning over as she's signing the book, and he's chewing, and you just see his neck and his jawline. I still get goosebumps.
Seriously?
Oh, man.
Specific, Dave.
Very specific.
Also very demented.
Yes,
You know he was very gay.
yes, but that jawline just like still does it for me. Like when I see it on a guy. Yeah, go ahead. I'm awful clown.
Well, I will continue to be dating myself, and of course that's okay because nobody else will date me. But the Carol Burnett show, that's a really old reference, but Lyle, oh my God,
He was so hot.
hot.
Oh my goodness.
And
yes.
you just-
because he would do all kinds of, they would make jokes.
shirtless
of his
things.
Shirtless
Yeah, he was always,
things.
yeah. But you're just to hearken to Richard Gere, I did see him do Bent on Broadway.
Oh.
And it was it was an amazing experience. to see him.
Life altering for
It
you.
was because the show that is so heavy and so tough. Speaking, it's just tough.
Yeah.
But Richard Gere was amazing in that show.
Yeah.
But Lyle on
John, somebody for you?
There really isn't. I knew I was gay when I was 5, and I felt towards one of my kindergarten classmates. I felt the way that I knew that people on TV, men, felt towards women on television, and I didn't have the vocabulary to express it. But I knew that I shouldn't have those feelings. But I knew when I was 5 without any celebrity help. However, there was a show called Soap. That had a very young Billy Crystal on it, and he played, for most of it, he played a gay man. And that was the first show where I was able to sort of see a somewhat positive character played on TV, and that sticks out in my mind.
Because of the positivity of the character, not because of the sexuality of...
No, because of this, because you knew he was sexual, and he wasn't being demonized. He wasn't, here to molest me, although Billy Crystal, when he was young, totally could have.
That was a great.
So he
show,
helped you towards your self-acceptance more than
He helped give me the
acknowledgement.
vocabulary, to express what I was already feeling on my own.
All right. And Ty, did you have somebody?
I've had just a lot of people. It was a series of unfortunate events. But of course, I grew up in the 90s, right? So obviously when Marky Mark was doing his Calvin Kleins, that was huge for me.
Yeah.
Ricky Martin, I'm still in love with him, and he's way too old for me now.
Yeah.
Well, see, I didn't choose to be gay. I was forced into it by Chris Evans naked in Not Another Teen Movie with the banana shoved up his ass.
Oh dear. And I knew I was gay at 3. I mean, I didn't have a name
I
for
don't
it, but
see
I knew I was gay.
just to be a partial challenge to that. It is so hard for me to understand at that age or at 5 that there is an awareness of something that is going on.
But I can tell you that there was. I know specifically. I remember very, very specifically at the age of 3, because I know where we lived at the time, and I was attracted to men. I mean, of course, I had no idea what that meant. It was, it was the 1940s in North Carolina, after all. I'm not that old. But I mean, what do you do with that information? Because
See, I just bought into that.
Right. I know, but there was no protest, and that really pisses me off. F all of you, as
Lori Lightfoot would say.
Yeah. I have words for you. But no, I knew exactly what it felt like. I just had no words to put it on it.
Well, and I think that's something that a lot of
words.
conservatives miss, is that being gay isn't just about sexual attraction. It is attraction. Yeah. It's who you're drawn to on a romantic level. And even before you can experience sexual attraction, you can understand that romantic attraction with somebody else and know that you are not romantically attracted to what's expected of you.
Yeah.
It's who you're drawn to. And I think that's where a lot of conservatives miss it, because there's a lot of people I feel are kind of on close to the bisexual scale of sexuality. So even though they may end up identifying as gay, they're able to kind of fake it, even in their own minds, until they get to a certain point where they can't anymore. But then there's other times where, it's not about sexuality, it's just You know.
You know, I'm sitting here listening to y'all's stories, and I'm thinking to myself, almost embarrassed that I would say, in the 1960s, I was like, I don't know, 8, maybe 9, 10, and William Shatner as Captain Kirk, because multiple of the episodes he would be shirtless, and I don't know what it was, but there was something there. And another one where he wasn't shirtless was in the Batman series, and it wasn't Batman. What was him? Adam West. It was Robin.
Robin, yeah.
And I realized much later.
You like the younger one, I'm so shocked.
That's a good joke. Shut up. It was because of the briefs. Robin looked
high-rise.
much better in the high rise, and in fact, so much so that they had to pad him to make him look less than he really was, and somehow that affected me. And I thinking about.
So basically, he was tucked.
He was tucked early on.
So basically, you wanted to show him the bat pole.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all those old Disney movies I grew up on,
You
like
say that
Swiss
like it's
Family
not
Robinson, No Mobile, they all had those high-waisted, super tight bell bottoms, and men's ass looked.
And you know
so
another
good
one
those pants.
in film? How about Blue Lagoon?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Him
that was
sitting
good.
at the end of the dock.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, because I had never seen that before. You know, I knew it was going on, and was probably participating in it frequently. But at the end of the day, what was his name?
Does it matter?
Brooke Shields and Christopher Atkins? No, whatever it was. But it was just shocking because he's sitting at the end of the pier and you don't see anything, but you know exactly what he's doing. And it was like, whoo, that's hot. Do you agree with this in terms of Anderson Cooper saying that somebody as a representation in celebrity is the one that can really help you realize it's not the boy next door, it's not the person in the classroom, it's somebody that you see in film or television or in magazines first that help pull you out.
I don't agree.
You don't agree with that?
I don't agree. I mean, that's a part of, I mean, maybe it led to that, but I think you said
It gives me the vocabulary.
Yeah, no, but I was very attracted to, like, there were men that my mother worked with, and I remember seeing them, and I may have, and I know at very, very young age, before even people were thinking about it, I was masturbating, I can say that word, at a very, very young age.
This is 2020.
Yeah. Nothing was coming out, but I was still getting the sensation of it. And I was thinking about men, for example, that my mother worked with, or boys that I saw at school. So it was more that I was thinking about and acknowledging. Well, of course, not at 3 at school, but later at 6, 7, 8. But I knew at 3 I was attracted to men just from like. Of course, I'm in North Carolina. People in the family, and that's very North Carolina.
I heard what John said.
My cousins.
So I think I kind of do. I was very young, very young. And also to kind of the point of Anderson Cooper, like for me, I would be attracted to people in my life from a very young age, but I was so nervous that if I let my mind dwell on it, it would make interactions with them awkward. So celebrities became my ability to express those feelings even in my own mind. Because even before that, I very much knew it was. I don't know if it was 3, but definitely 6, 7. I was having feelings.
You know, it's interesting as we look at this picture Productions has up right now. Now, when you look at Richard Gere, I had a conversation with a very close friend just this week, and we talked about American Gigolo. And he, I think, in terms of a real theatrical released movie, was the first time I saw a penis in a movie. Because you remember him, you could see his penis in the movie in American Gigolo. And I remember how completely titillating that was. Not sexual, it was just the fact that, wow, this is really exciting to watch. But it's interesting to me, as I look at these two pictures, it's not Richard Gere, it's Anderson Cooper. That picture right there is dreamy. And you know why? It's not that he's so beautiful. Anderson Cooper, you're extremely handsome. But it's not this picture in and of itself. It is me knowing the 60 Minutes and interview and CNN Anderson Cooper with this picture. Smart. I know this person. I know how smart he is. I know how challenging he is. And that makes this picture unbelievably sexy. It's interesting to me, what Anderson Cooper gets at is the fact that you see representation in film and television, and then you impose your thinking process, which is what makes it so sexy and pulls gay men out because of it. Because that's exactly the experience I'm having right now looking at that picture of Anderson Cooper. It's a very, very
Pull yourself out that way, not
You beat me to it.
Yeah, there is some truth to this. I'll be sitting here for a while.
I got really uncomfortable there for just a moment.
Right. All right.
Wait, you're the one who's talking about mixing a batch when you're 6.
Yeah, that's right. All right. All right, I got to move on. That's our discussion on entertainment. Next, we report that Happening on Television Network helps support our LGBTQ community. I'll be telling you when we go to the Sunshine video what happened afterwards. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.